in retail by day, I was a bouncer by night, but I only really did these jobs to feed my cocaine addiction. The life of a bouncer is very violent and pretty much anything went. I would stand on the door and get abuse after abuse. The mentality was to push each other with a lot of banter and try and be faster or funnier or more aggressive than the next guy. My life became a real jump between knocking people out or punching people in the face and waking up on park benches. The violent scene made me take more and more drink and drugs just to kind of stay normal. And then one night I found myself alone and I took an overdose. And I realised that I didn't want to die, so I cried out in prayer. The next day I woke up and didn't want to touch cocaine ever again. I put this down to my own strength and just being a strong character. But then something was different. I kept meeting Christians, and in my line of work that was quite strange. And then there was this one woman, Fiona, who worked in the store I worked in, and she was a Christian. She openly shared her faith, and that made me ask her a lot of questions, and I mercilessly tortured her for answers. And she was really, really nice and didn't get angry and handed me a Bible and said I should maybe try reading it. I decided to ask Fiona out because I really started to fall for her. She said no. And then I thought she lived her life by this book, so I should maybe get the answer for why she should go out with me in this book. So I started to read it. And instead, I found a lot of other things. It was at this point that I asked Fiona to take me along to church. When I got to church, I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never been to church before. And there was an Alpha starting. So I thought, what have I got to lose? So I went along and did the Alpha course. It was great to meet so many different people who made me feel just so welcome and were just really, really nice. And it really made me start to think about some of the bigger questions in life, like why would God choose to forgive me, or how could I even possibly remotely become a Christian? As the weeks went on, we got closer and closer, and we ate together, we had fun together, we laughed over the discussions, and we really started to develop a real sense of family. And it was these people's lives living out what it meant to be a Christian today that really spoke to me and really encouraged me to think about things differently. Alpha really turned the questions I had into a belief about God, and that God really genuinely cares for me and everyone else. I've changed from a violent, loveless drug addict to a family man who's happily married and just a lover of life. Fiona and I are now married and we've just had a wee baby. I've been running Alphas for many different peoples, from gangs to grannies, and I've really seen people's lives change. Every day is an adventure.